Welcome back to another episode of the Armchair Pundits Liverpool post-match review show. As you can tell, I am pretty gutted with the performance I've just watched. Our season has turned around. 5 games in, we were the team that was scoring late goals and getting out of jail. And we've now gone 2 games in a row where we could have snatched a draw. And in the last kick of the game, in pretty much both, we've conceded a late goal to lose the games. But before I go any further forward, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification button so that you can share and help me grow. And you can watch everything I post and be made fully aware. Today was one of those days where I predicted last week that we weren't going to win. And some people were like, Chelsea are not in great form. They just lost 3 in a row, etc., etc. We've lost our first game of the season. But my issue with why I thought that we weren't going to win today is we played Chelsea twice last season. And in both those games, we were pretty much outplayed. We won the first game, and Slot openly said himself we probably didn't deserve to win that game. And then after we won the league, we lost the second game. And a lot of people generally said, it's because we just won a league. A lot of players were drunk, and some of our players don't drink. Yes, they were partying, but some of them won't drink. So, yes, were they not fully focused? I can give you that. But the bottom line is, we've played Chelsea 3 times now, and they've looked the better team all 3 times. Today, as soon as the game was finished, I was like, we didn't deserve anything from this game. It was a horrible performance. I've had time to sit down and review it and watch a few highlights and actually think of the game properly. And if we had got a draw out of today's game, it wouldn't have been a robbery. We possibly deserved a draw from this game, but at the same time, I didn't see us winning the game at any single point. So we certainly didn't deserve to win. But in terms of the overall performance, Chelsea were better than we were. They were more progressive than we were, and their style of play was better than us. We have a real issue right now where last season we were composed in certain instances. We had control of games at certain points, and we progressed the ball well. And now we cannot progress the ball. The defense has it so often. Teams have worked it out. Let Konate have the ball and see what he can do. If he makes a good pass, he makes a good pass. But most of the time, see what he can do. And it's quite worrying that Slot already has it in his mind now, and he said it in his post-match press conference, that at some point, because obviously we're losing, that regardless of the tight quad that Konate came off with, he was potentially going to sub him because of the ball progression. And our game improved once we put Gravenberch there, and the ball progression was better because he's a better passer of the ball and he can break the lines. It's gonna notice that yes, we've lost Trent, and it was a case of he wasn't a great defender anyway. But in terms of our build-up play, in terms of our passing, in terms of us beating the press, in terms of us spreading the play, Trent was so key to all of that, and we haven't been able to replace it. We brought in Wirtz to help with the attacking side of things, but we're falling down in the build-up because we're not getting the ball to our attack quick enough. There's so many times where by the time our attacker got the ball, the defense is set. They've got the 2 banks of 4, and it's okay, yeah, cool, try and break us down. There's no quick passing through the lines. There's times where midfielders are in space. They may be in a little square, but there's times where the pass is on and we don't make it forward. We don't make that forward pass. We pass sideways, we pass sideways, we pass sideways, we pass back. We run forward, we run back. Our football right now is so slow and ponderous, and it's hard to even watch. When we were winning, you can not be excited, but you have that mentality, which I had. We're not playing well, but we're winning still. So you had the hope that it's going to click. Next game is going to click. Next game we're going to play better. We didn't play well, but we still won. That's the fighting spirit. But then when you couple together, you're not playing well, and now you're losing, then it's worrying. And I can't lie, I'm worried. I'm more worried than I have been at any stage of the season. Some people were ahead of me. They were worried from before because they didn't like the football we were playing, and they thought, obviously, as a lot of people said, these late wins aren't sustainable. But my thing was, it's not about the late wins. I was hoping more of a case of actually winning games early, getting an early goal. And I said to the guys in my from the podcast in my group, we need to score first today. We need to score first. And when we didn't score first today, the warning signs were there. Poor defending, essentially from first, Matt Caicedo. Caicedo has had a horrible start to the season. Absolutely horrible. Yes, he had no preseason. Yes, he had an injury. But we're far enough into the season now, we'll actually be seeing better performances from him. And he looks all over the shop. His passing is not great. His timing of the press is not great. His timing of his runs to cover is not great. And then Van Dijk is confused. Does he run to close him down? He doesn't. He chooses to he thinks he's going to play a through ball. So he turns his back to run to cut off the through ball. And then Caicedo's like, no, actually, I'm going to hit it. And it's a great strike. It's a great strike. If Alisson's in that goal, he's not saving it anyway. I can't blame Mama, that's really whatsoever. But the performance today was just not good enough. As I always do, I look at the stats and look at the first half stats that you can see on the screen now. First half, it looked pretty even. In fact, we had XG. Our XG was actually better than Chelsea's. Percentage-wise, 49% to them, 51% to us. They had expected goals of 0.019, considering they were 1-0 up. And we had expected goals of 0.58. But I find that weird, considering we didn't have a shot on target. But we had two big chances and missed them both. They had one shot on target, they scored. We had no shots on target. They had no big chances, we had two big chances. You look at the accurate passing, it's it's even really. Both had 84%. And then fouls committed is neither here or there. And corners, we're not a threat in corners at the moment, and we need to be. We ended last season as a threat in corners. And right now, we need to get back to that this season. Because it's not good enough at the moment, what we're doing. So, that's the first half stats. And again, not good enough. So, you look at the goal. I've said the goal already. Great strike. Then you get to second half. And a lot of times last season, Slot goes in at half time. He makes some tweaks. And again, today he makes a tweak because Conor Bradley gets taken off because Conor Bradley didn't have a great first half. Once again, picks up a yellow card and needed his yellow card. He's picking up yellow cards in every single game. And at the moment, it's looking like he's not going to finish any games because he's always getting a yellow card. So he gets taken off. And in honesty, it's not a bad sub because I want to see Wirtz. These are the kind of games you buy Wirtz for him to open the door. And his first touch was sublime. A little flick around the corner to Salah. And Salah is just so off form right now, he doesn't even hit the target. He tries to shoot with his right foot and doesn't hit the target, and we miss. And you think to yourself, okay, is this the start of something good? Wirtz has come on, looks a bit bright initially, nice little touch. And then we're on the front foot. And we're attacking, and now it's even after Chelsea probably had, with the ball, a bit of the first half, but possession-wise we had a bit more of it. But with the ball, Chelsea looked a bit more threatening than we did in that first half. Second half now, it's a bit more even, you can say. But as the game wears on, they had more ball because after we scored, we sat back. But 57% possession, as you can see on the screen, 43 to us. XG of 0.79. Once again, our XG was higher, 1.16. They had 9 shots, we had 10. But they had 5 on target, we only had 2 on target. We're very, very poor in front of goal at the moment. Very poor. They had 2 big chances. They missed one, scored one. We had 1 big chance and we missed it. And again, accurate passes is about the same. They're on 82%, we're on 83%. But it's just not the performance I wanted to see. It's a performance I expected to see, and that's a sad indictment. Like I said, I didn't expect to win this game. Predicted in our group. Originally, I said 1-1, but because I wanted to have a different score to my other guys on the podcast, I said 2-2. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a draw. I just didn't see us winning today's game. And watching today's game, I was right in that regard. And I hate that. I hate the fact that I was right. And I'm looking at our next game, which is now 2 weeks away against Man United at Anfield, and it's a must win. We've got to the stage of the season where it's must win. We cannot drop 3 points in a row. in the Premier League. We can't. We cannot lose 3 games in a row. You definitely cannot lose to Man United at Anfield. No way on this earth can we do that. So, looking too far ahead, I guess, because 2 weeks' time, our next game, we have to win it. We have to win that game. So, like I always do, I'll move on to the player ratings. And the player ratings aren't the greatest because we didn't play to the level that I believe we could have. And I'll start with the goalkeeper. Mamardashvili makes his debut in goal today, Premier League debut that is. And to be honest, there's nothing you can do about the goal. Absolutely nothing you can do about the first goal or the second goal. But in general, his play was okay. I think our players need to get used to the fact that he's left-footed and not right-footed, like our previous 2 goalkeepers. There were times when they're giving him the ball, which is really silly. They've trained with him for the whole preseason. It's not someone we bought late. He was there from the get-go. But it was just a few little dodgy things going there. Aerially, he was good, 1 out of 1. 1 good save. Acted as a sweeper twice. But like I said, he couldn't do anything to stop the goals. So I've given him a 6.5. Move on to Conor Bradley. Not a good first half. You get taken off at half time, and you're on a yellow card. You can't even get a 6. He gets a 4.5. Wasn't what I was hoping for. Listen, ground duels 0 out of 5. Aerial duels, he doesn't contest any. Fouls committed 3. So I think even 4.5 is good. It's being too kind. I think he gets a 4. A really, really poor performance from him. He's fit now and he's to back up his ideas because if he wants that right back slot to be his, he's got to do a lot better. He's not showing that he's the player that I thought he was, if I'm being honest. A lot of people told me I'm overrating him. He's not as good as I think he is, and I could have been wrong on him. Hopefully I'm not. Hopefully I'm not knee-jerking right now because I'm really unhappy about this defeat today. I move on to Konate. As bad as and the criticism he got, ground duels 3 out of 3. Aerial duels, he loses the 1 out of 1 he's in. Makes 2 tackles. Wasn't dispossessed. And his passing was 95%, 37 out of 39% passing. And he gets subbed early because of his quad, but Slot says he was probably going to sub him anyway. But he wasn't great today. He just doesn't show the air of confidence that we've seen last season. He just looks shaky. There's a few passes. I think one of the passes that was shown there was a poor pass that made it 95% and possibly not 100 and put us in a bit of trouble. So I've given him a 6. He wasn't as bad as Conor Bradley. So I can't go as low as a 5 or a 4, but he wasn't great. I move on to our captain, Van Dijk. Not a great performance from him today. Most passes in the match, but it's neither here or there. It doesn't make any ground duels today. They don't really get into his area. Aerial duels, 50%, 1 out of 2. 1 interception, 3 recoveries, and 5 clearances. Is he marshalling the line? Is he? You know what? Sometimes it's a bit hard on him. The players around him are all underperforming. Kirkes hasn't started the season well. Konate hasn't started the season well. Bradley's too far over, so I can't blame Bradley. But the 2 guys either side of him have not playing very well today. And he is just making him not look bad, but he's having to do a lot more than he's used to. So I've given him a 6 as well. Move on to Kirkes. Kirkes, another one. Wasn't great. Ground duels 50%, 1 out of 2. Clearances 3, recoveries 4, and dribble pass once. For him, I've given him a 6 as well. No, I've given him a 5.5. I think he needs to be better. No, in fact, he hasn't really do much wrong. I've written it down and I've been going back and forth with it. I give him a 6. Not much difference, but I give him a 6. He needs to improve. He's still young and he will improve, but he needs to find the form he had last season, and hopefully it will serve us a lot better. I move on to the midfield now. Gravenberch. Gravenberch in midfield. Ground duels 2 out of 3. Aerial duels 1 out of 1. Ends up moving into the centre back position when Konate goes off, and he wasn't horrible today. 91% pass accuracy, 50 out of 55. But I guess him moving back into defence changed his game, so I'll give him a 6 as well. McAllister, he looks shocking at the moment. I'm giving him a 4.5. Really looks under par. Plays 86 minutes and gets subbed off. but he's just not the McAllister I'm used to seeing. I need our McAllister back. Ground duels, 4 out of 7, 1, so 57%. No blocks, 1 interception, 4 recoveries, but visually he doesn't look there. He looks a mess. So 5.5 for him. One of the guys that was decent today, Szoboszlai, plays okay in midfield, plays okay at the back. I've given him a 7. He's one of the few people that is actually shining in our team, and couldn't fault him as a right back, couldn't fault him going forward. He's just doing okay today. Ground duels 5 out of 8, coverage 3, and look at it, successful dribbles, not great there, but he missed a big chance. He did miss a big chance. But he's been played right back sometimes, defensive midfield sometimes, number 10 sometimes, and he's just trying to do his best. Move on to Gakpo. He is another one. He scores his goal, but not much more from it. I've seen some people say he had a decent game. Not sure what game they watched. I personally thought he should have been sub for Chiesa. Can't believe Chiesa wasn't brought on towards the end. The sub for Endo was the wrong sub in my opinion. I understand it, don't get me wrong. I understand that Slot wants to protect it and come away with a draw at that point. It's 86 minutes on the clock. It's probably another 10 minutes to go. 11, 12 minutes to go. So he wants to see it out. But I think we needed to put more pressure on, and he was probably the wrong sub. So he gets a 6 for me. Gakpo. Salah, another poor performance. He gets a 5. He's just not what we want him to be. Does he make the most chances in the match? Yes, he makes 4. But he also has the least touches of anyone to play for 90 minutes or 90 plus minutes. And you're our talisman. You're supposed to be our best player. I want to see more. So he gets a 5. Isak, he gets 6.5. He tried, gets whether it's intentional, I doubt, gets an assist for the Gakpo goal, but you can still see he's not fully fit and he's trying to play through it. But hopefully over the international break, he starts 2 games with Sweden and he gets the rust off and he comes back and he settles. Because again, he's still new, still trying to get used to our style of football and the managers and the players as well. So I'll move on to the bench. I've given it, just in case I didn't say it, Isak gets a 6.5. I'll move on to the bench. Wirtz comes on. He's okay, not great. He gets a 6. Not much to say. One little assist that would have been great if it had been scored, but once again, he's creating chances and people aren't putting them away. Move on to Robbo. Robbo gets caught sleeping last minute. Yes, it looks like he was injured at the time. He was on his haunches and then the ball comes across and he's not mobile enough to get there, but it still cost us the goal. So for me, he gets a 6. Curtis Jones comes on, another 6. Doesn't really do much apart from get 100 pass accuracy, which is where we know he does. Ground duels 0 of 1. Aerial duels 0 of 1. Just not the impact I expected from him, I wanted from him, I should say. So he gets a 6. Ekitike, 6.5, comes on, is busy, helps with the defence. Doesn't really get much of the ball, for being completely honest. He only makes 5 passes, one of them is incorrect pass. And he does more defensively, only has 11 touches when he comes on. So he gets 6.5. Endo falls asleep, can't control the ball, can't pass the ball. Probably should have left in the summer and probably should have brought in someone young, someone more suited to how we want to play football, someone good on the ball and that can also tackle well. He tackles well, but he's not good on the ball and his pass is not up to scratch. So he comes on, he gets a 5 for me. And that's the players. Slot gets a 4. Not happy with his performance today as a manager. He tactically is getting things wrong. And yes, he went back to more tried and tested, but I do think Robbo should have started today. Again, Kirkos wasn't horrible, but this is one of those games where you go back to what we did last season. Go back to him playing left back. Kirkos is being pushed to be a starter too quickly for me. Let him settle a little bit. But yeah, not good from Slot today. And he has got a lot of work to do. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We've lost back-to-back games. Slot has actually lost the first back-to-back games in a league in his career. And we have a lot of work to do. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button. And as you can see, we've got our socials up there or down here, whichever I put it. I'll probably put it down there. The socials are around. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, we have our socials there. You can go onto Instagram, you can go onto X, you can go onto TikTok and leave a comment. Are you worried like I am? Are you disappointed like I am? Do you think it's going to change quickly? I'm not so sure it's going to change quickly, but it needs to change. It really needs to change. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Peace out.